Hey there, Griff Hamlin here. Thanks for joining me. I've got something new for you, as you've probably figured out. But I've got another thing that you might not have expected. Now, if you have been following any of these videos over the last few days, that you've seen some of these new training, that I've been doing on technique and speed and what I call speed building blocks. And as I mentioned in the last video, I do have a new course called Blues Speed Building Blocks that is actually now ready for you. Now normally, I would just give you a link and let you go get it, but starting today, I'm going to give you another option. And this new option is something I'm calling the Blues Guitar Unleashed All Access Pass. And in a nutshell, it's a simple subscription that gives you access to everything I've ever made and ever will make as long as your subscription is active. So instead of having to place a new order every time there's a new course, you'll just get an email notifying you that you have a new course available. But what I'm most excited about being able to do is to create more smaller lessons that may or may not warrant an entire course. As you can probably imagine, doing a course, full course on something, it requires a certain commitment level. And if I see a need for a lesson, but maybe it's only 30 to 45 minutes worth of material, it might be a cool idea, but it just doesn't make sense to make that commitment, put it on a DVD and a CD and all of that sort of thing. The cost is simply too high. So unfortunately, when those times arise, I just don't make those lessons, and I'd really like to be able to. And that's especially frustrating when it's a lesson about how to bring together lessons from various other courses. Which brings me to the next benefit of the All Access Pass, which is the practice generator. Now, for those of you who already have used the practice generator, hopefully you received an email and you've had some chance to play with the new version 2 version of the practice generator. It looks nicer, it has better access to all of the online content because it integrates better with the new member area. But what you can't see in that is all this behind the scenes stuff that I can now do with it. I can use the practice generator, I can actually load it up from the back end with a custom course, for lack of a better word, that's really a customized pathway through my other material, or even I could add in some new material with it. So the point is that I now have the ability to set up specific pathways through material that already exists to achieve your goal. And you can use the practice generator both to navigate the content that I've made and to keep track of your practice time and schedule it as it was originally intended. So I should probably change its name at this point to the Practice Navigator, but I think you get the idea. And if you already have the Practice Generator and you decide to take me up on the All Access Pass, you won't have to keep that Practice Generator membership. It'll be included, and I'll make sure to cancel it for you and without you losing your existing schedules and stuff that you've built up, okay? Now, there will also be some other benefits to the All Access Pass, and that I want to start doing more live workshops for All Access members. We will meet up a couple of times a month for Theory Thursday, for lack of a better word, which may or may not be on Thursday, but I think that sounds good. And I'd like to do, I also plan on some live workshops specifically to address things like technique and counting issues, reading music, basic core stuff that, again, I can't necessarily do a course on, but it's important. So maybe I'll call that Technique Tuesdays. And finally, I'll incorporate, some gear and recording stuff. A lot of people have asked, about my studio and about the gear that I use. How do I record? And of course, we'll talk about pedals and amps and guitars and all that, but we can also talk about how to record a guitar, how to work with drum samplers, how to work with loops or digital audio and signal flow in general. There's a lot of stuff, and it's all really fun, and it's stuff that I love to talk about. So I think this will be a great chance to meet up, a couple times a month and talk about those things, okay? So for courses that you already own, I'll say in a digital format, courses that you've purchased or will purchase, nothing will change. You won't notice any difference. You'll still see them in your member portal just like you did before. With the All Access Pass, you'll also see every other thing that I've ever done. You just won't be able to download the courses that you don't own, okay? So one important note here is that the courses I didn't make, in particular those written by Steve Travato or Bob Murnahan, are not included with the All Access Pass. I don't expect that to change. Those are older courses. They're going to kind of phase out anyway. There's licensing issues there that I just couldn't handle. So, of course, if you cancel your All Access membership, you lose access to the courses that you don't otherwise own. But those that you owned before, or those you purchase after, or as you'll hear in a minute, those that you acquire over time, you will always have those, just like before. So, as I alluded to, as the months progress, you're going to have an opportunity to redeem what I call a golden ticket. I couldn't come up with anything else, so those of you that have seen Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, you'll get the reference. And the golden ticket will allow you over time to add courses to those that you own. Okay, so basically you can every couple of months redeem a golden ticket, and now you own that course. It will never go away. Okay, now what was interesting for me, I was trying to think about how to do this. So I went back through the courses that I released last year, and I added up what you might have paid for them if you bought them all. And for 2017, that would have been $585 for courses just that were released in 2017, assuming you didn't buy any old ones. And that's the digital versions, not the DVDs or the manuals. Assuming you bought them all the week they came out, you would have paid around $350, which is the typical 40% off that I do for a launch week. If you add in the practice generator and the extra live sessions I'll be doing, this would be a pretty good deal for the All Access Pass to be about $30 a month. In fact, even at that, you'd save quite a bit each year. But, you know, this is the start of a new adventure, and I'm sure we'll encounter some hiccups along the way, but I also know that once we get going, it's really going to be great. In addition, if you're seeing this video, you've already supported me and Blues Guitar Unleashed. And of course, I want to thank you for that, and I want to show my appreciation for that. So for you, I have decided to offer the All Access Pass as a founding member for just $19.95 a month, or you can choose the yearly option and even save a little bit more. So at this point, you have a couple of options. Number one, you can just use the link below, grab your copy of Blue Speed Building Blocks from the link. It's 40% off right now for the launch of this new course, and of course I know you're going to dig it, and I know you're going to get a lot out of it, and you know, you've already seen videos about it, hopefully. Or your second option is to get Blue Speed Building Blocks and everything else that I've ever made that you don't already have, and anything else that I make forever for free, along with the practice generator, the monthly live sessions, and who knows what else I can come up with. And you can do that by getting a Blues Guitar Unleashed All Access Pass for just $19.95 per month or $199 a year. So that's it. That's what I got for you. And whatever you decide, I will see you on the other side shortly. So take care, and I'll talk to you soon.